Hello, David here, and the project for today is refinishing this Ruger Speed 6. This revolver was sitting around for a long time gathering rust. It's pretty well pitted, but it's never been fired. I was the first one to fire it. I'm the second owner, maybe even the third owner, who knows. But I'm going to have it Cerakoted. And did you know that you could fill in pits with JB weld? Yeah, the Cerakote will stick to JB weld. So take a look at this. You can see pitting. Here's the cylinder, top, by the front sight. There is a possibility that this video might violate YouTube's community standards. So for the disassembly of the Ruger Speed 6, the full video will be on my Rumble channel, same name, davidgpo, and the YouTube channel will only cover the Cerakoting process. I'm about finished filling in the pits. I've used JB weld, and then I kind of squeegee it with a popsicle stick. You don't want to get too much on because then you got to sand more off. So I don't know if I could get it any better than this. Took about 5 cycles. Fill, sand, and then fill, sand some more. Not perfect, but it's better than it was. And what I'm using is I'm using a fine emery cloth to smooth out the JB weld. According to the package, the JB weld could withstand 550 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm going to be using the Cerakote crushed silver, which is in the H series. And I've transcribed the instructions from Cerakote into a 9-page document so that I could follow along as I go. There's going to be some items that I need to mask off that I don't want coated, and I got this high temperature tape from Cerakote. It comes in different widths. I got the 3/8 inch width. Degrease the parts for 30 minutes. I'm using acetone. Next step is to air dry and then mask off any parts of the areas that you do not want coated. Everything's masked. Put everything in the oven for the gas out stage. 1 hour, 300 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, it's been 1 hour. I need to let everything cool off before I can apply a coating. I also need to inspect the parts to see if there's any shiny spots, which might mean oil might have risen to the surface. Is that risen or risen? Probably risen. And if that happens, you got to redo this whole process over again. I do have some oil coming to the surface here. I'm going to have to soak it again in acetone and then gas it out again for another hour. I lost track, but it took about 4 or 5 gas out cycles to finally get it where there's no oil leaching out, and the oil was coming from the barrel threads. So after 11 hours, I called it quits. It's a new day, and I'm going to start coating today. Got to shake for 10 minutes. After this, when I open the bottles, I'm not going to be able to narrate because I'm going to be wearing my respirator. So here's the Cerakote Catalyst Mixing Calculator from the Cerakote website. First you choose the product, and it's H255 for me. And then you choose the ratio you want. 18:1 is recommended gloss. I might try a higher gloss, 12:1. Then you enter the weight of the Cerakote prior to adding the catalyst in grams. So let's say I've got 30 grams. Click on calculate, and at 30 grams I need to add 1.92 grams of catalyst, which would make my total weight 31.92 grams. So your option, you could tear the scale and bring everything to zero with your 30 grams of Cerakote, and then add catalyst until you get to 1.92 grams, or you could just add the catalyst until the scale comes up to 31.92 grams. And I think this is the most accurate. It's easier than doing volume, because when you add the Cerakote to a glass beaker, all the Cerakote runs along the side of the beaker, and you can't read the graduates on the side markings, if that makes any sense. I got this neglected orphan back together again, and I did not film the assembly. I just felt that the video would be too long. Well, the Rumble version, because that's the full version, that would be too long. And this thing fought me all the way. I had the crane latch in. It went in kind of cockeyed, and it got stuck. I don't want to destroy the finish, so I was gently trying to wiggle it out. It hardly wiggled at all. Finally got a pick behind it, and after about an hour and a half, it came out and I got it back in. And if you notice right here, that's discolored. That's because I neglected to Cerakote the edge of the hammer pivot pin. I got that side of it, but I missed that side. Also, the roll pin for the front sight, when I was driving that in, I happened to chip off some of the JB weld. There was a lot of corrosion on here, and I had to rebuild this rib with JB weld, and some of that chipped off over there. I left the trigger and the hammer in the original bright stainless steel. And I noticed that even though I mixed the catalyst for a gloss finish, it is kind of dull. I don't know if you could see it, but there is a slight metal flake to it. I was expecting a more bright, glossy surface, but overall I'm very happy with it. I think it looks a lot better than it did in its original state.